I don't support Mr. Odinga's bid for a number of reasons, and I've already stated that in different fora. Number one, because his bid is an attempt to use the AU position to exile him from local politics so that this administration may get the support of his constituency. That is not a reason why you give somebody a seat that requires young and vibrant individuals. Mr. Odinga is going to be 80 in the month of January. Really, at age 81, should be writing his memoirs, not competing with younger people for holding an office, which is a secretariat's office. So, and even the manner and style in which he has campaigned is inconsistent with what the spirit of the AU is. There have been people who have held that office. They did not campaign in that manner. President Connery did not campaign in that manner. He was the first. Xiaoping of Gabon did not campaign in the manner that he is. Nkosazana and Lamini Zuma did not campaign in that manner. Mohamed Faki did not campaign in that manner. My own view is that Kenyans and other Kenyans, the Kenyan government may support him, but I believe that he is not my candidate.
I think Mr. Odinga is going to lose this election in Addis Ababa, and I think I'm the only one who thinks that. I will be shocked if he gets even a slim majority. I think the candidate from Djibouti is going to win a landslide. One of the biggest influences of the AU is the French. Now, Amina and I, we knew we were going to win. And then the French government intervened heavily in those elections. And we lost. We even had the support of Djibouti. This Djibouti that is standing here today, one of the people who stabbed us in the back in that election. I think that the same scenario is what is going to happen in the AU. I think the French, the Sahel areas, major states in Central Africa are going to stand up to the candidature of Mr. Odinga and say no.
Wow, things are getting crazy. Things are getting out of hand in Raila Amolo Odinga's campaign team after receiving the news from Kenya government-sponsored intelligence service. Bad news when they heard that Raila Amolo Odinga's support from the leaders of African presidents in the African continent are now shifting their support to Djibouti candidate, and right now they can't believe it because they believed that they had locked down some support from some very, very critical countries from the West. And right now, those countries are switching side to support the Djibouti candidate. And this is so saddening to the Raila Amolo Odinga's campaign team, because they thought they had worked so hard. The government of Kenya is supporting them financially very heavily, and they thought that they had locked these countries to support Raila Amolo Odinga's bid for the AU chairmanship. But it has been unveiled that the support has been shifted to a man like the man from Djibouti, and it's awakening moment, because they thought that all along they had locked this support. But right now, when we are closing up to the voting day, the government leaders, the presidents have started switching sides, and it's saddening to Raila Amolo Odinga. Considering the heavy campaign, which actually a man like PLO Lumumba was complaining that no other leader of AU chairman has ever campaigned in such a heavy campaign manner, because they've used extremely lots of money in terms of US dollars to campaign for Raila Amolo Odinga, and this is by the tax of the Kenyan people, which is so unfortunate. And again, we can consider that the chances of Raila Amolo Odinga winning are extremely narrow right now, after getting those denting news from the intelligence service that has been working round the clock to make sure that things are all right. But right now, you can't lie, on such critical information. You just have to give it raw and untempered so that Raila Amolo Odinga can take it as it is, knowing the reality on the ground. So guys, let me know what you think. It's how it is. We have Kenyans who support him. We have lots of Kenyans who don't support him because they feel like Raila Amolo Odinga is a betrayer of the Kenyan people. He has always been with the people, but when the right time to show up for the people came, he decided to join the oppressor of the people. And right now, very, very many people in this country feel like he's a betrayer. Even on the social media, there's always been a trending hashtag of hashtag Raila must fall. And apparently it's working. And, you never know how this will turn out when it's time to vote for the AU chairman. So let's see how this will go. A man like PLO Lumumba, who's a well Pan-Africanist and very well connected. He has a very, very, rooted connection with the leaders of this continent in Africa. And he gave an interview and he said that he doesn't support a man like Raila Amolo Odinga for the candidature of the AU chairman. And, he gave some very, very concrete reasons. For example, a man is turning 80. A man like Raila Amolo Odinga is turning 80 this month. And this is a secretariat office he's looking for, which needs a young, vibrant leader. For example, the one from Djibouti, who can move around the continent flexibly without no health problems or something like that, which is hindering them while they are attending on their health issues in the hospitals. So a man like PLO Lumumba said the way Raila Amolo Odinga spent extreme amount of US dollars in terms of campaigning is one that has never been seen or witnessed before. And he even gave examples. I'll be giving you that video so that you can see. And it's high time we wake up to the reality that maybe a man like Raila Odinga won't be getting this AU chairmanship, or to our shock, maybe he might get it. It's a 50-50, but apparently right now it might be 80-20, and that is against a man like Raila Amolo Odinga. So let me know what you think on the comment section. A man like Mokisa Kitui had given an interview, and he said that Francophone countries usually vote as a bloc, and a man like Raila Amolo Odinga is not, being supported, or his home country is not among the Francophone countries. So, and Francophone countries always vote as a bloc, and that is unfortunate for a man like Raila Amolo Odinga. And remember, we have Islamic states in this continent, and they usually vote as a bloc. And a man from Djibouti, the Djibouti candidate has he's actually a Muslim, and he's supported with the Francophone countries. His country is among the Francophone countries, so that makes him a bit stronger in terms of the countries which shall be voting for him. So it's crazy how this will end up. So let's just wait and see. Let me know your opinions in the comment section, and I really appreciate. Enjoy these videos that I've compiled for you.
Do you feel we've done enough to have Raila get that seat?
I don't know if it's campaigning that gets you that seat. There are certain things that are strategically very important in consideration. The gulf on the Israeli genocide in Gaza is just one of them. But there's also something you have to understand. I have worked at the highest level in international diplomacy as an Under-Secretary General of the United Nations. I've sat in fora where major election and appointment decisions are made. One of the things that I know for sure, Francophone Africa will always vote as a bloc on any issues concerning Africa. If you have two candidates for a position representing Africa, and one is Francophone, another is not Francophone, the Francophone candidate starts with the 29 votes of the Francophone countries in Africa.
Where? That's where we are at the moment.
When you have a Djibouti candidate and you have a Kenya candidate, know that the Djibouti candidate starts with the 29 votes of Muslim Africa.
Hey, Baba.
And if you add them, then among the 19 Muslim majority countries, those which are not Francophone, you add those ones on the Francophone countries. And then you get to a situation where the president of South Africa, who is not Francophone, but is the voice and leader of SADC, issues a statement that SADC is supporting the candidate of Djibouti. You have to start saying, where are we going to campaign? Where should we go to campaign for Raila?
We start with EAC. Wow, that's a very harsh truth. And anyway, Raila Odinga, we still wish you the very best on that run.
So you think Raila will not get the AUC seat?
No, he won't. He's not even qualified. The Djibouti guy will beat Raila. Baba Taoshwa. As he say in the Luo, they will nango Baba.
Okay.
If really Kenya wants Raila to go, they must go beyond Ruto running into Nyanza. He should have been in West Africa, not Nyanza. It started as I didn't see a Francophone president. That was very telling diplomatically. When a president sends a minister or sends a principal secretary, that is a diplomatic communication that we are not happy with this.
The Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga and his amazing history. He saved President Moi. He pronounced Kibaki Tosha. He shook hands with President Kenyatta to stabilize, and he's stabilized every government since the 90s. He has become the single stabilizer of governments. We know his commitment to Kenya is total, and people are saying it is time to shake hands with President Ruto. Mukisa, you know the Honorable Raila Odinga well. You've worked with him, you've known him, you've been friends for ages. Is this his time to stabilize Kenya?
I respect Raila Odinga for what he has done and sacrificed for this country. I think this is time to retire. You know, two problems with the handshake that is being discussed right now. Raila has been the leader of the group that is standing up against government and mobilizing on the street to fight government. Then he goes to talk peace and that war ends. Today, he is not responsible for the youth who are on the street. So when he goes to form government, is he curing a problem of relationship between Kenya Kwanza and ODM or between Gen Z and the government? You know, just because you have a hammer does not make every problem a nail. He comes to form coalition government where he's not party to the contest that is on the table.
But every coalition government he's formed has stabilized the country.
But because he was pacifying groups that were standing behind him, he's not leading the group that is questioning the legitimacy of this government. So he cannot be the spokesperson, he cannot be the solution. He becomes part of the problem if he's not listening to why are people going onto the street.
Great respect to Baba, but it's not his time. Now it's not about stabilizing the government. It's about the government responding to the call of austerity measures and taking care of what we have in the coffers. We should not be increasing the wage bill or increasing the people that serve the government.
The Honorable Raila Odinga, you guys said you respect him, you take him as Baba. What do you want him to do?
I think it's very unfortunate that Baba has chosen to jump ship from the camp of the people. I wish Raila was saying, now it is time for school-going children to have meals whenever they go to school. I wish Raila was saying, now it is time for all victims of state brutality to be compensated. I wish Raila was saying, now it's time to bring an end to corruption in our country, to usher in good governance. But Raila is saying, let's dialogue. No. Ruto is completely out of touch with the majority of Kenyans, with the reality of what is happening in the ground. And this is a very wrong political move for him because it completely discredits him as someone who says he's fighting for the people. On this one, you're not fighting nor representing us, and retire.
Hii ni dai bwana, hii ni dai. Hii nywele si nyeusi hivyo. Hii ni dai. Kuwa kama wenzako bwana, kuwa kama wenzako. Wewe ushazeeka. Saa hii anaongea na Kiarabu. Ameanza na Kizungu, ameanza na French, akaingia Kizungu. Saa hii ako Kiarabu. Alafu Raila na degree yake ya welding bado anakudanganya atachukua hii kiti. Francophone countries zote zinaenda kupigia huyu mtu. Umeona hata hajachukua time mingi kumaliza kuongea. Raila na dai, ona dai. Amepaka dai. Hii ni dai. Kuwa kama wenzako. Raila ana fake mpaka huko kwa wazungu, ana fake mpaka huko AU. Ana fake kila mahali, ana fake hapa Kenya. Bwana, we are tired bwana. Ona wenzake. Huyu aenda kuwa number 2. Raila number 3. Alafu yule mwingine number 1. Take it from me.
Personally, as a prophet of God and as a servant of God, I don't support him. One, because Ruto William killed so many Kenyans in Kondele, killed so many Kenyans in Nairobi. So many Kenyans died. After this death, now Ruto and Raila sit down. Then they say work together. They are working together on top of the graves of Kenyans. They are dancing on top of the graves of Kenyans. If Raila was so serious about his patriotism for the Kenyan people, he shouldn't have joined hand with Ruto, who is a killer, a murderer, a vampire. He wouldn't have done so. And for that reason, I 70% doubt whether he will make it. If he make it, okay. But I, Apostle Michael Band, I don't support. I know many people will say you don't care. You don't care. My heart is not your heart. It is your heart that does not care. Praise the Lord. You can say whatever you want. You have your mouth. I've said my own. Everybody in his office. There's office of the fool. There's office of the wise. There's office of the ignorant. I don't know which your office is. Mine is a prophet. That's what I've said. I am against it. There's no way government, politicians can always be uniting for their own selfish gains to oppress Kenyans. This is oppression. Why couldn't he just stand there? Amechoka na kwenda kwa street. Si angekaa kando. Awache wale wanataka kupigana wapigane. Anaingia pale kucut deal ya nini? Na cut deal na mtu ambaye ni devil worshipper. Ruto is a devil worshipper, disguising himself as an angel of God in the church. Very nonsense man. Very evil, wicked man. Wickedness, even if you look at him like this, wickedness is written all over him. The other day he came in a vision. He was begging me to agree with some of things. I told him I don't agree. And I left him seated there and I went. I can never agree with Ruto. Not on anything. Raila goes and unites with him. I pray that he fails at ACU. If he succeeds, okay. That's his own problem with his family. It is his salary. I don't care. But my prayer is, Apostle Michael, that he fails in that quest. We cannot have politicians that are chameleons, always changing like this. They're getting richer and richer, and Kenyans are getting poorer and poorer. Nonsense. Very nonsense. They should have left Ruto to perish because Ruto tried to play God. You can never play God. I said before and I say here again, no amount of interventions will help Ruto. You can never play God. And you cannot dance on people's blood. You cannot drink people's blood. You can't do that. Now he's back on top of cars going there. That's all he knows. Kutangatanga tu, huku. Hakuna kitu huyu mtu anajua. Ameharibu kila kitu. Kila kitu ameharibu. Mtu aliambia Ruto ati Ruto ni genius. Alikudanganya. Alikuwa anataka pesa yako. You have nothing here. Nonsense. Na bado kiboko ya Mungu inakuja. Tatuangwa vizuri. Think you dare wise. Nonsense man. Clueless. Rudderless. Pointless. Resign bwana. Toka hapo. Nonsense.
They want to be described as honorable even when they are horrible. They acquire things which they have not worked for. They promise us things that they know they will never deliver. And there is no shortage of such men and women in the African continent.
Now the next election,
yes.
Unajua hawa ndio watakuwa nasema fagia wote ama mtasema namna gani? This generation,
yes,
they use their might because they didn't vote. The largest vote in the last election.
You like me, why them a fight me. You like me, chewing a bone, a bite it. You like me, chewing a bite it. Don't like, power that you. When you touch them, when you touch them, even if we touch them. When you touch them, stay fine, not touch them. When you touch them, what you want to soak them. In pan, my messenger, bust them.